want me to put that on my Tudor?
Harry's wife. Less popular than Andrew. Yes. Suitable noises to reflect the failure of Harry and Harry's wife as their popularity goes down the crapper. I've explained to you previously that popularity is immensely important to the narcissist. Popularity provides fuel. It allows the narcissist to control individuals. It can lead, of course, to residual benefits as well. If you're popular, people want to come and see you. They will pay to listen to your outpourings. They'll pay to watch you perform. And that therefore provides money, which is that huge residual benefit. Of course, with Harry and Harry's wife, he wants to be popular because being popular is nice. It's nice for people to be well predisposed to you. She, of course, thinks in a similar way, but it's more important to her. Popularity allows her to control people because it shows that they're under control. And with popularity comes fuel, her lifeblood. Conversely, being unpopular is a huge problem. It shatters the facade because people see through her. It means that they're not under control because they're providing challenge fuel. Yes, they're still providing fuel, and therefore that is beneficial. But with it comes a challenge, which then means that she has to deal with it. And the problem for her is that because of the type of narcissist that she is, she feels it in the sense of it being a personal attack against her. As I've explained in my video, The Highly Provocative Narcissist, there are some narcissists who absolutely love being unpopular. They are able to deal with it and dismiss it in their own minds, so whilst it's still challenge fuel, they put it to one side very readily so it doesn't cause a problem for them. These narcissists don't operate with facades. Instead, they revel in their notoriety. They revel in being problematic. And in such circumstances, the fact that a crowd is booing them, they lap it up. They're getting dogs abuse from away supporters. They absolutely love it. The fact that they're getting lambasted by a crowd when they turn up at an event, they love the notoriety and they feed off it because it's all excellent fuel. Harry's wife is unable to do that because she genuinely thinks that she's a lovely person and can't understand why people would turn against her. But as the Mail Online reports in an article by Lawrence Dollymore, Harry and Harry's wife South Park savaging sees their popularity in the United States slump even further. Mwah, 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 mwah. Duke's approval rating drops to -10. Then his wife hits -17, making them less popular than Andrew, who sits at -2. Yes, Prince Andrew, a bluff, brash, non-facade utilising narcissist, known for his love of taking private helicopters than a car, hence being called Air Miles Andy. The fact that he would like to chase skirt, leaving to his title of Randy Andy, an individual who's been involved in dodgy deals for quite some time, and of course more recently the notoriety of a friendship with convicted paedophile Jeffrey Epstein, and facing allegations of himself of sexual behaviour which, put it mildly, was viewed as inappropriate. This has all been very damaging to Andrew's reputation. However, it shows just how disliked Harry and Harry's wife are, that their popularity falls beneath somebody who's been accused of basically being a sex offender. So, how does that go down in Monty Shit Show? Not well at all. The fact that Harry's wife is seen as less popular than somebody who was accused of engaging in sexual offending is a massive slight to her facade and, of course, a huge threat to control. The article tells us Prince Harry and Harry's wife's popularity has slumped to an all-time low in the United States, where they are now less popular than the disgraced Prince Andrew, a shock poll has found. I don't think anybody would find the poll a shock, to be honest. Since December last year, Harry has sunk 48. Drink it in, 48 points, and Harry's wife 40, giving them net approval ratings of -10 and -17 respectively, according to a survey by Redfield and Wilton for Newsweek. While Andrew is still viewed negatively, following his New York civil trial against the sex accuser, Virginia Roberts, which he settled out of court, his net approval rating sits at -2, with 26% of Americans saying they like him, compared to 28% who say they don't. The Sussexes' nosediving popularity across the pond comes just days after they were royally mocked by South Park, a satirical cartoon famed for having its finger on the pulse of American culture. The couple were lampooned in an episode aired on February 15th, 4 days before the latest poll, which was entitled The Worldwide Privacy Tour, and depicted them embarking on a publicity blitz to promote the Prince's new book. Wow. After the show aired, reports surfaced suggesting that 41-year-old Harry's wife had been left upset and overwhelmed to see parts pass him. But the latest survey suggests the increased attention and scrutiny of the Sussexes, brought on by their 6-part net shitflix docuseries, Harry's memoir, Wah, and a spate of bombshell interviews, has only turned larger proportions of the public against them. This, of course, is demonstrative of the way that Harry's wife is unable to read people. While she manipulates left, right and centre, her narcissism is not so good at reading the room and certainly has no regard for those collateral consequences. And therefore, as a result of her telling of lies, blatant murching, and basically ubiquitous appearances, even still managing to pump out PR puff pieces when apparently she's not doing very much, means that people don't see them favourably. This week's poll shows that 18% of US respondents felt neither favourably nor unfavourably about Harry, while 7% replied don't know. Some 20% were on the fence about Harry's wife, and just 8% didn't have an opinion. The figures mean that only 25% of respondents expressed no strong feelings either way about the Duke, and 28% about the Duchess. However, when it came to Andrew, who has been keeping a low profile, some 32% of respondents had a neither favourable nor unfavourable view, while another 13% answered don't know, meaning a total of 45% didn't have a strong opinion either way, perhaps making him a less polarising figure. Respondents were also asked if they felt positively or negatively towards Harry's wife and Andrew, with the results likely making sober reading for the couple. Some 32% felt positively about Harry, compared to 27% about Harry's wife, and 26% for Andrew. However, 44% held a negative sentiment towards Harry's wife, compared with 42% for Harry and just 28% for Andrew. Which is interesting because, of course, it shows that Andrew's not particularly well liked, and there's not a huge amount of dislike for him, whereas there is more dislike for Harry's wife, and she's not particularly well liked to begin with. And this is the problem that she has. Her narcissism creates this ubiquity so that people become sick of her, but not only that, they're sick of her behaviour. Let's have a quick look below the line in light of this unappealing news for the Sussexes to see what people think. Perhaps the salvation from there, whereby people say, oh, that they are well liked. Emma Black 77. Have they started their World Privacy Tour yet? Notice how the South Park show continues to haunt them and will do so repeatedly. LJN, apart from being absolutely hilarious, this is so spot on. Lona, most of us in the United States easily ignore Harry and Harry's wife. They are irrelevant. Kirsty Carrot, whereabouts in the States does their fan live? Struggle Grunt, it's the best episode that Matt and Trey have done so far, in my humble opinion. Basil Brush, thank goodness for South Park. Danky Mamal, I haven't read Wah and don't intend to. I'm going to try and respect their privacy. Suki listens. They have earned this ridicule. Of course, once again, Harry's wife's narcissism will not cause her to realise that this has all been brought on by herself, and she will be demanding that heads roll for this latest travesty of an opinion poll. To the rest of us, it demonstrates that that ship is truly sinking. And imagine now, as she sits there at her desk with unsold copies of The Bench around her, realising that she's less popular than someone accused of being a sex offender. Damage to the facade indeed, and a huge threat to control. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.